everyone, welcome back to Venusianscorp Astrology and Tarot, where I talk about all things astrology and tarot. And today we are going to be talking about moon in the 12th house. So this is different from where your moon is placed, in the sense you could have a moon in Aries, you could have a moon in Pisces, but this is which house your moon is located in. So we're going to talk about the moon in the 12th house. As always, if you like the video, do go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Do be sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to book a reading with me, you can definitely drop me a message on email. The link is in the description box, and I'll get back to you soon. All right, so let's get started with the moon in the 12th house. So, when we are talking about the moon placement here, it lends a tremendous amount of introspection in this person. So, this person is typically very spiritually inclined and they're deeply introspective in their nature. Now, the moon essentially has to do with nurturing, it has to do with motherhood, it has to do with the 4th house, which is the Cancerian house, it has to do with childhood. It has to do with our emotions as well, our subconscious mind. And the 12th house is all about the subconscious mind. It is the area of life which is fairly unknown to us, unless we really dig for that information. So it's obscure. It's not, it's hidden away. It's not consciously something that we are aware of. That's all 12th house territory. It's the house of losses. A lot of people call it the house of losses, but I don't like to think of it that way. It is the house of the greatest rewards, actually, and it is the house of isolation as well. It's the place where you go to sort of figure out yourself, who you are on the inside. So it is a very introspective house, and because it's a Piscean ruled house, the 12th house is ruled by Pisces. These people are naturally very spiritually inclined, and because the moon rules our emotions and the inner world, and this is basically seeping into the house of the subconscious, which is the 12th house. The 12th house is also about secrets and all of that. So, usually, this person with the 12th house moon is going to be a very private person. They have a very rich emotional landscape, and they have a tremendous ability to see beyond what is superficially seen. So these are the people who can tap into the astral realm very easily. These are the kind of people who would have very lucid dreams. They are very, very psychically gifted. They know when something is off. It's very difficult to sort of quote unquote fool these people, because they are psychically very, very attuned to other people. So they know when something is off, they know when someone is lying to them. They can see through other people like no one else can. With the exception of the moon in eighth person. So now the moon in the 12th house person, they are going to have a deep emotional landscape within themselves. What I mean by this is, you would not even know that this person has so many intense emotions and feelings on the inside, and they have so many ways of escaping into their imagination on a day to day basis. Escapism is a very big theme here because we're talking about the 12th house as well. So, these people may often turn to escapism to recharge their batteries. Too much of reality or the daily grind, which is what the opposite house, the 6th house, is about, that can be too much for them. These people can often feel overwhelmed by too much of reality. So they prefer to go away and escape for a bit and then come back and recharge themselves and then come back into reality. So they have very deep emotions. And a lot of the times, moon and 12th house people may struggle to articulate these emotions. They may even not even understand what they're feeling themselves. Like, because this is the 12th house and it's a house of obscurity where things go to basically die, these people are not aware of their own emotions. They are extremely sensitive. Even if you don't feel like this person is like that on the outside, like they may have a rising sign which is completely the opposite, right? Like it could be an earth sign or something like that, and they present themselves as this very stoic individual. But on the inside, because they have got the moon in the 12th house, they are extremely sensitive people. And when I say sensitive, I don't mean in a like they tend to cry a lot or they get emotionally sad. What I mean is they are sensitive to their environment. Like they know they can pick up on cues like that. Like it's very easy for them to get overwhelmed in crowded spaces because they're picking up on that psychic energy from everyone around. They also have a very powerful intuition. And like I said before, they often absorb the feelings and moods of those around them. So moon and 12th house people, if you have this placement, you need to be very careful of who you're associating with, the kind of environments you're in, because you can feel drained a lot of the times. Like people can use you as sort of like a psychic dumping ground, and you need to avoid that. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like your energy is getting drained, you need to move out of there, right? Like you need to have very strong boundaries. Now, because you've got a very strong intuition and because you can psychically feel a lot of empathy for other people, you have a tremendous amount of compassion. So people tend to confide to you when it comes to their secrets or things like that. And you may be very good at listening to other people, and you can just heal them just by listening to them. That's a gift that you have. But the thing about this is be careful to draw your own boundaries and be able to switch off from that conversation once it's over, because too much of sensitivity can lead to a lot of emotional vulnerability. It can make you anxious. And the problem here is that you can tend to take on the burdens of other people as well. So that's why you may feel emotionally drained a lot of the times. Now, the 12th house is the domain of the subconscious mind. So, the moon placed here can mean that you have a lot of connection to the astral realm, to your dreams, to hidden memories and psychological patterns that a lot of other people may not be able to decipher, but for you it's very easy to do that, because like I said, like you're very connected to the spiritual realm. Like I said, you may have a lot of lucid dreams, and those dreams can give you a lot of insight into what the reality is or what your life patterns are. So if you are able to remember your dreams in the morning, I would suggest write them down or at least recollect them, so that if you start journaling about your dreams, like you can get a lot of insight about it, and eventually it'll help you realize certain life patterns that you're going through. Now the thing is, because it's the subconscious realm that we're talking about, the 12th house, the 12th house is also where a lot of your fears reside, anxieties reside. And so you can often suffer from sleep disturbances also, or you can feel like you're haunted by the past. So you need to learn how to navigate your own inner landscape and bring all of that stuff that's in the 12th house into conscious awareness so that you can heal and grow. Because as long as it's hidden in the subconscious realm, and as long as you're not aware of it, it's going to keep you caged in that whole situation. So it's really important for you to bring it out of there. And to do that, what I strongly suggest is to start meditation. And I know meditation is commonly prescribed for a lot of people, but for you especially, because you have the moon and the 12th house, and that's your emotions, it's a very core part of you and your personality. It's important that you meditate on a regular basis. It doesn't have to be a long session. It just even 5 to 10 minutes a day, that should do a lot. Like it should help you a lot and bring about a lot of benefits into your life. um Now, you have a lot of intuitive gifts, that's for sure. Because the 12th house has to do with spirituality, solitude, and the quest to understand life beyond the material world. When you have the moon here, you often feel like you need to do a lot of self introspection or meditation or contemplation, or just understand your own connection to the divine and the cosmos. And so you may find your greatest moments of peace when you are quietly reflecting or when you're in solitude. You are the kind of person who is drawn to a lot of esoteric subjects, mystical subjects. Those things really fascinate you. And you have tremendous intuitive and psychic abilities, like I said before. And because of that, you can pick up on subtle cues and truths that a lot of other people may miss out on. Like a lot of people may be focused on the surface level energies that other people are giving out, but because you've got the moon in the 12th house, you can pick up on all these subtle undercurrents that are going on in the room, which makes you amazing at being able to just read the room when you walk in, right? Like you can just pick up on people's energies like that. um Now, the thing is with the moon has to do with mothering. It has to do with the mother as well. So when you have the 12th house moon, you are often a very caring and devoted partner because moon is all about nurturing. Now, the thing is, you may be very caring, but you may not be able to express what you need to be cared for. Like, you may have struggles with expressing your own needs or your own vulnerabilities openly. Like, you may be caged up when it comes to those things. And you may have a desire for a deep soul level connection that transcends the ordinary realm. You may want that kind of psychic connection with people. Now, the thing is, because we are talking about the moon here, and the moon has to do with the mother, and it's the 12th house, your relationship with your mother may have been very significant or very complex, but either way, it would have left a very deep impact on your life. So, because it's the 12th house we are talking about, and 12th house is about isolation and solitude and things like that, you may have had a mother who was emotionally unavailable, who was self sacrificing, or may have been facing her own hidden struggles, and or just maybe unavailable to you. Those are all 12th house themes. And so, this can create a dynamic where, like, if you have the moon in the 12th house, it can create a dynamic where you have a very strong unspoken bond with your mother, but at the same time, you may have a sense of being disconnected with her, like a sense of emotional separation. You may also have a very strong need to rescue or quote unquote save her. That's the very 12th house, 6th house theme of savior martyr complex. You may feel this need to rescue or save your mother or people like that. Now, the challenges with this placement is, of course, there are tremendous gifts with this placement. You do have tremendous empathy and intuition, but the challenges are that one of the main things is you tend to absorb a lot of negative emotions when you're around people. So, as a result, you can feel like you're a bit of an emotional dumping ground sometimes. So, it can lead you to feeling overwhelmed sometimes. Like, you may want to, that's the reason why you may want to escape reality a lot of the times through different means, because you may feel so overwhelmed on a day-to-day basis. So that is why it's very important for you to establish healthy emotional boundaries and to find constructive outlets to be able to channel your intense feelings. So what I would recommend is, if you have this placement, good ways to channel your energy or your intense feelings is through artistic means, because the 12th house is a Pisces ruled house. So things like, music, poetry, anything artistic is going to be amazing for you, because that's going to give you creative expression. It's going to help you make sense of a lot of things that are happening in your emotional landscape. And also, if you can go for some kind of spiritual practice or helping others in a concrete way, that's going to help you channel these emotions in a very constructive way. Like, you're able to, in this way, you're able to tap into your psychic gifts by helping other people, but at the same time, you're also getting it out of your system by doing this. um, Now, the thing is, you need to learn to trust your intuition. That is a big theme with the moon and 12th house people. A lot of the times they tend to doubt themselves when it comes to their own intuition. They may feel like they cannot trust their intuition, but it's really important to be able to trust your intuition. And the first uh, message that you get from your intuition about somebody or something, you need to trust that, because you have that gift. So you don't want to second guess it at any cost. You need to also realize that you are a born healer. Like, you are a born artist, you're a born spiritual guide. Those are all 12th house themes. And when you have the moon here, you are basically emotionally connected to these realms. So you have tremendous compassion and empathy for the world. So you need to use these gifts to help other people. At the same time, you need to have very strong emotional boundaries as well, which is where I would say tap into the 6th house realm, tap into the Virgo themes, right? Like, being very practical in your day to day life, set very strong boundaries, have a very strong schedule in your day to day life. Those things are going to keep you rooted in the reality and grounded, and it's going to prevent you from sort of escaping into the emotional realms that you already do. Now, the 12th house is amazing, actually. Moon and 12th house people, you have tremendous gifts. So it's really important that you start using it in a constructive way. And like I said, Working with the earth is another thing that I would suggest for you, because you may tend to get overwhelmed so much when you're around a lot of people. You may feel emotionally, psychically drained when you're in crowded spaces and things like that. So if you are able to take up gardening as a hobby, or just even just put your hands into the soil for some time, that's going to keep you grounded. Like, it sounds a little bit strange, but it's going to keep you grounded. It's going to keep you rooted in your current reality. It's going to keep you from accumulating too much of negative emotions. If you have to deal with too many people on a day-to-day basis, then this practice is going to keep you grounded, that's for sure. So that's what I have for you, Moon in 12th house. You are amazingly gifted. So please be sure to be happy with this placement. I know a lot of the times it may feel like it's not the best placement in the world, but there are a lot of gifts that you possess. So it's really important to realize that and use it to your advantage. That's what I have for you. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up. Be sure to comment if it resonated with you. And if you'd like to book a reading, you can definitely drop me a message on email. The link is in the description box. And I'll see you soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.